It is that time of the year, or sorry, that time of the season. Every new isekai and fantasy anime from the winter 2025 season from Mr. Aninews. Let's see if he has any suggestions that we're actually missing out on.
A couple videos ago, I talked about 100 ways to get isekai'd in anime, and it looks like this season will be bringing us 10 or so more. There's not many notable sequels like last season's 5, but there are quite a few interesting looking new ones.
Oh, Danmachi. Gotta wait for that shit until spring, man.
A unique selection varying from the edgy ecchi Ubelblatt all the way to the more creative isekai involving.
Wait, Ubelblatt is ecchi? I thought it would be just like super edgy and battle, but I didn't realize it's fan service.
Ecchi Ubelblatt all the way to the more creative isekai involving Power Rangers and middle-aged shoppers. So, just as we do every season, here's a preview of every isekai and fantasy anime coming out in the winter 2025 season.
Let's go!
To start with the returning series, Re:Zero will be coming back in February,
Hell
finishing
yeah.
up the second half of the Watergate City arc.
February 5th.
It's the counterattack after the witch cult's brutal attack from the first half. It is only 8 episodes just like the first half, but with various clues all but confirming the production of
Exactly, arc 6, right? This character here is like the biggest, I guess, hints that we're getting because this is like an arc 6 character, and maybe, just maybe, the rumors are true. The leaks, said that there might be 38 episodes for all of season 3. So if we do 8 times 2 for arc 5, 16, leaving us with 22 episodes left, are we gonna get 22 more episodes of Re:Zero in season 3? I don't know.
Confirming the production of Re:Zero into the arc after this, we can probably expect another season to be announced right after this. A mid-season break is something Danmachi seems to be taking involuntarily as well, since with the 15-episode season stopping short at episode 11, there's unfortunately no telling on when it'll return.
There is already an announcement, right? It's spring 2024. The author came out and made a bunch of posts. We already covered that stuff. JC staff halted productions. Looks like the author actually did have a role to play in how the production was halted based on what he was tweeting. Maybe I'm wrong, but spring 2025, it's coming back.
The only news we have is that episode 12 and onward have been delayed indefinitely. That just means we get to focus on solo leveling, since with season 2 starting in less than a week, Sung Jin-woo and his army will be blessing us with more of his overpowered greatness.
January 5th, huh?
The episode count hasn't yet been confirmed, but we're for sure gonna be getting the Red Gate arc and the Demon Castle arc.
Hype?
Anything after will likely require more than 12 episodes, but with the way season 1 teased a further arc in its ending, I imagine we'll be getting more episodes regardless. In any case, this
Why can't they give us 2 cores? I want 24 episodes.
is the anime that I'll be talking about this season, so I hope you'll enjoy my videos on that.
Hell yeah!
Next, we have season 2 for the romance fantasy Unnamed Memory.
Yo, I heard this shit got botched so hard in season 1. I remember watching like 4 episodes or something. I remember there was like a witch that was like stealing a dude's semen. Crazy shit. But I heard it was like super rushed, like unbelievably rushed. The pacing just made no sense and a lot of people were pissed off.
Then a continuation to the character-filled Battle Royale war anime issue.
Studio Engi moment? Is it very like common that the studio that worked on Unnamed Memories is like very known for doing this shit? They just rush the fuck. Did they do instant death?
Shura. Well, it's not actually a Battle Royale.
This, unfortunately, nobody cared about Ishida, bro. I'm sure it's a good, fun show to watch, but bro, the trailer reaction, it didn't hit at all. The actual anime season reactions too, nobody's covering it because it underperforms like fucking crazy. So unfortunate that we can't cover this.
But the way each character is uniquely powerful and eventually fights against all the other characters does make it very similar to one.
Did he just shoot a tree?
Powerful and eventually fights against all
Wait, is that a fucking tree?
the other characters
No,
does
not
make
really.
it very similar to one. At the very least, it makes for some highly entertaining action sequences. This brings us now to the new anime, which, to start with the ones that are actually isekai, first we have Headhunted to Another World from Salaryman to Big 4.
That is actually not today.
A comedic take on the overworked Salaryman getting summoned to another world, this
Geek
time
Toys!
to work for the Demon Lord as one of the Heavenly Kings in his army. He doesn't get magic or powers to help him do that, but
Is it today? Then what? Hold up. Why did he say January 5th? Yeah, Headhunter is today, right? It's Headhunter and Alchemist that we're going to be checking out as weekly shows. I saw the date being something like January 6th. I don't know what the hell is up with this date.
getting summoned to another world, this time to work for the Demon Lord as one of the Heavenly Kings in his army. He doesn't get magic or powers to help him do that, but what he does get are full benefits and working conditions better than how it was in his past life.
Imagine having such a shitty fucking job in Japan, black company, unpaid overtime, 25 hours a day, 8 days a week. And then working for a demon lord is a better work-life balance. This anime is probably going to be hilarious.
So it's basically an anime following this. Next, we have From Bureaucrat to Villainous,
Yes!
a series depicting the story of an old man reincarnated as a villainous.
Let's fucking go, bro. Now, I don't know how the anime will actually be, but in terms of like concepts, in terms of just like basically I just see like a trailer or like a poster and what I think of it, this is my most anticipated anime of this season.
That's right. Rather than the usual otome game enthusiast transported into the world of their favorite otome game, the chosen one here is a 52-year-old politician.
Let's go.
Somehow he becomes the villainous in this standard dating sim, and it's basically him navigating the world with the elegance of an elderly Japanese person.
The director working on this is goated. Oh shit. Well, the trailer looked very high quality, right? So I'm really hoping that this anime, I can rate it like minimum 8 out of 10 by the end of the season.
It also seems like his family knows his consciousness is literally in the game itself. So, this does seem like quite the interesting premise, simply due to the absurdity of an old man becoming this type of character. I can't help but be curious to see how something like this turns out.
It's just like, my imagination goes wild when I think about like a Japanese bureaucrat politician who sucks up to, you know, the higher ups and understand how to navigate the corporate ladder, now playing the villainous role in an otome game. And just based on the trailer, you know how he tried to like raise up the principal and did like a little bow and everything. Like already, it's just the concept is just so hilarious to me.
Next is the daily life of a middle-aged online
Tell me that this guy doesn't look like the same guy before, bro. This is the new Kirito face. It's not new, but basically, anytime you have like a salaryman isekai, anytime you have like a middle-aged man isekai, the main character is not like a fucking black swordsman, Kirito. This is a default phase now.
Shopper in another world, bringing us another isekai very similar to campfire cooking in another world. You've got your middle-aged guy,
Basically, the power is Amazon Prime.
isekai'd into a world of fantasy, and the only thing he has going for him is unlimited access to an online shop where he can buy pretty much any. The only thing
Okay, I thought the studio name was Eat Fish Studio.
he has going for him is unlimited access to an online shop where he can buy pretty much anything. Any modern item you'd find on a site like online shop where he can buy pretty much anything.
Did he just buy a truck?
Any modern
He
item
did.
you'd find on a site like Amazon, that's what our main character has access to.
You can just buy a truck off of Amazon? All right, fuck it, let's go.
The synopsis literally describes him as a guy living off the power of Jeff Bezos. So, in this lighthearted fantasy where access to the modern world is through a shop, we'll get to see our protagonist change this new world around him using it.
Now, this girl's design is very interesting. You see this girl right here? The tiger girl? Look at her skin, right? If you ignored her face, you would think that she's like an actual furry. But she has like pale human face skin instead. What an interesting mix. If her face was more like animalistic, like the cheetah and Failure Frame, you know, it'd be a little bit too much for me. But because it still retains some human aspects, I'm like, okay.
Now, this next isekai is one I'd honestly never thought of, but
Oh,
given
baby.
the trajectory isekai has been going in, it was only a matter of time before we got a Power Ranger one.
Let's go.
So, this is the Red Ranger becomes an adventurer in another world. That's it. That's literally the plot. It's your standard isekai except with the Power Ranger protagonist. The long-awaited anime which finally answers the profound question of what would happen if a Super Sentai got isekai'd.
It'd be fucking busted. He's got like a Transformer suit on too, bro. Like how the fuck are random people here supposed to stop this huge mecha pilot overlord?
Liden Films is bringing us an adaptation of the game Promise of Wizard, which is a series revolving around a protagonist summoned to fight against the Great Calamity. A literal moon which descends once a year and must be stopped by the sage's wizards.
The moon descends? Isn't this the plot of Zelda Twilight? No, not Twilight. Majora's Mask?
Our protagonist is one of these wizards of the sage as well, and it's her who we follow as she joins forces with the others to defeat the moon itself.
Huh. I think this is the one that I dismissed when we were doing every Winter 2025 anime checking out list. And I thought, oh, just a bunch of husbandos. Huh. I will probably not react to this initially, but if there is a lot of demand for it on YouTube after we do some little research and see if it's popping off in other people's channels, maybe I'll dip my toes into it after a month in.
I've never played this game myself, but as a story produced by the same writer as Idolish 7, it might be something worth checking out this season.
Really?
Produced by the same writer as Idolish 7.
You tell me this is peak? Anyone watch this anime? I mean, Aninews is vouching for it. I guess I am just... I'm just being too judgmental. I see this and I'm like, just BL yaoi stuff, but it's actually that good, huh? Maybe I'm being a little bit too judgmental. Maybe I should check it out, man.
7. It might be something worth checking out this season. Something a bit more basic is the run-of-the-mill power fantasy, possibly the greatest alchemist.
That's today. Why is it January 8th? What the fuck is up with all these dates that's wrong? Anyways, this is out today. We'll be checking this out tonight.
Of all time. A random person is accidentally summoned to be a hero, is given the power to create literally anything through alchemy, then uses said power to become both absurdly rich and unbeatable in combat.
This is basically like, I wonder if there's like, what about like the, isn't there like the law of like equivalent exchange and alchemy? While it seems like you're just creating shit out of thin air, it's actually, you know, you need something else to offset it. Anyways, this guy's creation powers, alchemy, super busted. We're gonna be isekaiing it up. I'm sure it's gonna be very mid. Will it be mid? I don't know. It just feels like it's gonna be mid, but only one way to find out.
Usually it's one or the other for the merchant route and adventurer route, but it seems like this series just decided to go with both. Okay. So if power...
I enjoy the whole merchant route stuff. Like Scheme Simulator Fantasy, right? You got the whole adventure and merchantry stuff happening. It's both really fun.
Or fantasy is what you're looking for, then here's another to add to your collection. Finally, we have power fantasy is what you're looking for, then here's another to...
Did he create a toilet? Like, why is he so excited looking at a fucking toilet? Probably has a bidet installed too. He used alchemy and created a bathroom. Nice.
To add to your collection. Finally, we have How to Make Magic in Another World. This one bringing us an isekai where magic isn't present.
Studio Dean!
Our middle-aged, magic-obsessed otaku protagonist dies and gets reborn into another world, except here there isn't magic either. That doesn't stop him from continuing his pursuit of it though, since...
What's the odds that we're going to see some out-of-hand tweets on Twitter from the Japanese community posting about this little boy? I think very high. I don't know if it's going to go as viral as the Elusive Samurai, because obviously there was a lot more care and, you know, polish put onto that show. But the Shotokan tweets are going to be crazy.
It turns out magic just hasn't been discovered yet. This leads him to be the one to make that discovery, resulting in a story where the development and spread of magic is led by him. It's a somewhat unique take on isekai where magic is brought to the magicless.
Okay.
Another unique take comes in the form
Bihineko!
of reverse isekai.
No, this is not Bihineko.
Zero G's adaptation of Welcome to Japan myself.
Oh yeah,
it's a story revolving around exactly what the title states, depicting the adventure of our protagonist and an elf from his dreams now somehow alive in modern day Japan.
Bro, this anime is literally Japan tourism advertisement. Straight up. This is straight up, well, please come to Japan and use your money and stimulate our economy because the Japanese yen keeps fucking crashing.
There's no big adventure or quest to defeat the Demon Lord, just an elf coming to terms with her new life. It's a very light take on the reverse isekai genre. Moving on to the straight up fantasy anime now. First we have the popular revenge series Ubel.
Yep.
It's a dark action fantasy that's exactly that.
I'm worried about this one. I'm gonna try it out. I will try it out, but I think that this is gonna underperform on my channel, man.
Dark all the way through with lots of action and some smut on the side. The plot isn't anything particularly special, but with a solid foundation built on war, politics, and betrayal, that's pretty much all that's needed here.
Alright.
A warrior was betrayed and will now stop at nothing to get his revenge on those who betrayed him. The manga was pretty popular for its amazing art and consistent theme throughout, so we just have to hope Studio Satellite can capture that as well. Next, we have I May Be a Guild Receptionist, but I'll also solo any boss to clock out on time.
This one, I have high expectations. The trailers look very fun. A lot of you guys really enjoyed the trailer reaction too. The concept is hilarious. The guild receptionist, the token character, the guild receptionist, you know, is the main character here. Think about if the main character was Anna-chan from Bihineko though. Anna-chan is also the guild receptionist in Bihineko. Oh, something about super jacked macho men acting super effeminate in like, you know, man thong and like little pasties. It's just, I just laugh at it. It's just so funny to me.
One of the more interesting anime to come out this season,
Cloverworks.
since the whole premise of an undercover adventurer seems pretty.
Oh shit, it's a Cloverworks anime? Now, a studio is simply a building. What's the actual staff, the team working on this? But Cloverworks anime seems to be usually pretty fucking good, so let's go.
Fun. Our protagonist is a guild receptionist by day, but when it comes to clocking out at night, she unfortunately can't until every adventurer has returned from the dungeon. So, in order to speed up that process, she takes it upon herself to defeat every monster holding her back, essentially moonlighting as this dungeon clearing speedrunner. Of course, all that is kept secret up until she's spotted by a guild leader.
Nani?
That's pretty much where the story will pick up, and for me, I think it actually looks kind of interesting.
Yep,
Combine
I love
this with Studio Cloverworks at the helm, and it might just turn out to be one of the better anime this season.
Probably.
I mean, it's already a plus that the monsters in the trailer don't seem to be really bad CGI.
Okay.
Bihineko brings us a standard reincarnation anime, except instead of the hero being reincarnated as another person who can start over again, he's instead reborn as a behemoth, one of the most powerful monsters in the entire world.
But he's a cute cat though. So I guess he has a transformation that we haven't seen yet?
The thing about being a baby behemoth though is that for their early stages of life, all they look like is a small little house cat.
Early
So
stages,
this
okay.
knight-turned cat gets picked up by an adventurer, and the story becomes him essentially
Jesus!
doing what he can to protect her. It's a fairly standard power fantasy, just with an overpowered cat and an elf.
Yeah.
Another power.
There's more to it than just that. Again, a super fucking buff macho man. Like that shit came out of fucking nowhere. They didn't show that in the trailer at all. That they just the most fan service was just Anna-chan. Dude, it wasn't the elves' titties being fan service. It was straight up just Arnold. Arnold and his fucking guild like tavern hosts. Anyways, this anime it's okay. It's alright. First episode, you know, we had like a duel, a little bit of a power fantasy here and there, just stupid, ridiculous comedy. The plot's alright, but I'm gonna keep watching. It's fun.
Our fantasy comes in the form of the Worthless Appraiser, bringing us yet another supposedly useless class skill that turns out to be insanely powerful.
Oh, baby. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? I don't care about existing tropes or cliches. As long as you execute the concept well, I'll eat that shit up.
I don't know what it is with this new influx of worthless type fantasy, but it doesn't seem like this will be very much different from any of the others.
I think the worthless skill fantasy is very appealing. It's akin to solo leveling. Now, it's not the same because Sung Jin Moo actively grinds and, you know, levels up and progressively increases, while this is more like you have like a worthless skill, but it's actually OP. What I'm trying to say is there's an aspect of power fantasy of being looked down upon, right? Like Mahoka too, right? Everyone looks down on Tatsuya because he can't do this one thing that the school rates them on, but it turns out that shit doesn't matter. Being looked down upon by other people, but actually you can get back at them. There's a whole power fantasy aspect through that.
It's the same premise of a supposedly worthless skill becoming the most OP thing imaginable. Our protagonist using his appraiser status.
Dude, every elf girl, but every blonde elf girl just looks the same. Like, it's genuinely, if you show me that face, I could not tell you where the anime came from. Like, Bihineko anime, she looks like Bihineko too. And if you remove the elf ears, does she not look like Lena from, you know, Nutmaster that we just watched recently? Holy shit.
This to do what others can't. Now, I was actually looking up the story to see if the author had any other notable works, and I'd actually come across this gem.
Oh?
It's not really anything important, but I figured it was something worth sharing.
Just a bunch of big-ass titty cat girls and elves too, I guess. Wait, what the hell is his title? The incompetent prince who has been banished wants to hide his abilities. The strongest sage who reincarnated twice, he wanted to enjoy his life, so he took it easy and was banished from the royal family. It's too late to be told come home because now the people of the territory have noticed his abilities and won't let him return to his family alone. Jesus Christ. No. This is not at the true extent of their power. This is not close to the limits. I know we can get a longer title than this.
Anyway, Bogus Skill Fruit Master also takes that worthless
Not
skill
Master!
approach, but does so with a touch of One Piece added to it. You see, in a world where people gain one single special
Yo, they did gushing over Magical Girl. That's crazy. Okay. I mean, gushing over Magical Girls is hype, right? Again, it has to do with the team working on it, but that's funny. That's hilarious. Asahi Production, okay.
ability from a skill fruit, our protagonist who gained the useless Fruit Master skill finds out he can use it to eat multiple skill fruits. This in turn allows him to gain multiple skills, and I'm pretty sure you can figure out where that ends up.
It's so far obviously very generic, but it's still fun. I like the little lolly girl. She just wants to eat pizzas and, you know, support our main character. Main character seems like he's just a decent guy, you know? There's like a whole mystery of why Lena, the girl that, you know, got taken away, is now acting cold, but I guess everything will be fine later on. The opening and the ending really makes me excited to see the true potential of this show, because episode 1 I don't think really did it justice. But fingers crossed that this will be something that we can actually continue and not drop halfway through.
Alina Lise stars in Aminoble on the Brink of Ruin.
Not just Arina Rize. We also have Delta from Eminence and Shadow here, right? Delta and Arina Rize, let's go.
In Aminoble on the Brink of Ruin, an anime focusing on a man waking up as the son of a noble family.
Isn't this just a fucking magic creation character? Holy shit, these characters all look the same.
The thing about this family in particular, though, is that just as the title states, its standing is about to collapse. So, while amongst the chaos of this dysfunctional family, our protagonist decides he's just gonna focus on magic.
He kind of looks like Ayano Koji. He has the Ayano Koji hairstyle, right? The longer mid-length hair with the middle part.
Resulting in a seemingly lighthearted adventure coming from the same author behind this Isekai from the Sun.
What the hell is this one? This... For some reason, I thought Arifureta when I saw this, actually. This is, you know, Yue. This is Shea, but this is Shea's hammer right here. This is Hajime. Maybe this is Tio. Maybe this is Yue. I don't know. I saw this, I'm like, yo, it's Dai Arifureta?
Summer. Now, with so many anime focusing on adventurers getting kicked out of their party, it's nice to finally see one leave on their own terms.
Here we go.
That's exactly what happens in I Left My A-Rank Party, a series focusing on an adventurer who now parties with his former
Oh, they did Gintama. Bandai Namco Pictures is animating this.
students. So he's
Wistoria won the sword! But we shouldn't be expecting Wistoria quality from this. The specific team gathered for Wistoria. Dude, people on Twitter, I think someone literally said, again, just random stuff that I'm hearing. There was like a tweet made about how the project for Wistoria is like an all-star roster that probably cannot be made again for Bandai Namco Pictures, so we shouldn't be expecting this quality for I Left My A-Rank Party.
has a harem and goes on adventures, setting the stage for what's probably another generic fantasy.
Yeah. They're gonna live stream it though. There's a whole like a live streaming aspect of it, and everyone else like witnessing the heroic feats of the guy that left this party, and then the original party just being mad and mauling and shit like that.
Lastly, we have Pharmacia, which is an adaptation of a game that hired the character designer from Fairy Tail. That's why the character faces look so familiar.
Oh! So I thought it was literally written by the Fairy Tail author, but it's a game, but the designs are Fairy Tail based. Okay.
That said, the anime doesn't actually have anything to do with Fairy Tail. Its only connection is the fact it's being made by the same staff and studio responsible for Fairy Tail's final season.
Cool.
That's probably a good thing, but as someone who hasn't played the game myself, the only thing I can really say is that it looks to be a mix of Farm Simulator and Pokemon.
Yeah.
You collect resources, grow your farm, nurture monsters, then repeat the process all over again.
Pretty much.
But yeah, that's every isekai and fantasy coming out next season. Let me know which one stood out to you the most, and leave a like if you liked the update.
The one that stands out to me the most is, again, the bureaucrat to villainous anime. Just the absurdness of a balding, middle-aged Japanese bureaucrat politician acting as a villainous in an otome game, which I really think that the personalities could match really well. Whereas Zenshu? Good call. Zenshu is an isekai anime, but Zenshu not mentioned. Interesting. What's some other animes that's really, you know, I guess like standing out to me? That's pretty much it. It's honestly just this one. We checked out, you know, already Nutmaster. We're going to be checking out Bihineko and Nutmaster. We already checked out. We're going to be checking out, what's it today? It's the Alchemist anime and Headhunter anime. Hopefully both of those are good, and that's pretty much it. Please go check out Mr. Aninews' channel. Give the video a like if you did. Here's a link. And I'll see you guys next time.